Phyllis spirals. Ian returns, and Noah's secret shakes Weinar to its core. The Young and the Restless delivers a whirlwind week of shocking twists and emotional chaos that leaves Genoa City spinning. On Tuesday, Phyllis Summers crosses a dangerous line she can't undo, proving once again she hasn't truly moved on from her obsession with Danny and Christine. Her reckless behavior ignites fallout that ripples through the Newman and Abbott families. Meanwhile, Mariah Copeland is blindsided by the shocking reappearance of Ian Ward, a ghost from her past who may not be as dead as everyone thought. The chilling encounter pushes her to the edge, forcing her to confront years of trauma. Kane Ashby, on the other hand, surrenders to Lily's firm demands, facing the consequences of his past mistakes and struggling to rebuild what's left of his pride. Elsewhere, Tessa Porter's wild night leads to an impulsive kiss with Daniel, while Sharon opens up to Nick about the painful truth surrounding Noah's mysterious accident, one that hides far darker secrets than anyone imagined. As Claire delivers an unexpected surprise and Sally Spectra makes a daring power move, Genoa City braces for fallout that could change everything before November sweeps explode. Welcome to Celebrity Gossip 24 Hours, where the drama unfolds and the stories captivate. Join us as we delve into the intriguing world of Young and the Restless, revealing the untold tales and hidden truths behind the headlines. The Young and the Restless Tuesday, October 21st recap. Ian's return stuns Mariah. Kane surrenders to Lily's demand. The Young and the Restless recap for Tuesday, October 21st, reveals that Ian Ward's return will stun Mariah Copeland while Kane Ashby surrenders to Lily Winter's demand. At Society, Kane will overhear Devin Winters trashing him to Abby Winters when he walks in. Lily will arrive soon after, so Kane will convince her to sit with him and make his latest "I've changed" spiel. Kane will admit he developed the AI program for the wrong reasons and will confess to his Genoa City takeover plans. However, Kane will assure Lily that he's turning things around and now wants to use the program for something good. Lily will insist the program must be destroyed instead, and will argue that handing it over to her would be a good first step toward proving Kane has changed. Kane will suggest Lily should consider it done then and will surrender to her demand. At Crimson Lights, Phyllis Summers will work on her laptop as she schemes to score control of Kane's AI and make sure she's holding all the cards in GC. At the GCAC, Daniel Romalotti Jr. will walk in with Tessa Porter after a rush trip home from Boston. Although Daniel was hoping to make it back in time to join Danny Romalotti's bachelor party, he'll see that the bash must have wrapped up already. Tessa won't want to go home yet, so she'll get the nanny to stay with Aria Porter Copeland another night. Daniel will join Tessa for a drink in the jazz lounge and quickly realize she wants to get drunk to forget her problems. Since Tessa will be set on drowning her sorrows, Daniel will at least think she needs to get some food and drink some water too. Tessa will head to the athletic club's dining area with Daniel and guzzle more booze, but she'll remain distraught over Mariah blowing up their life together. After Tessa decides to head up to a suite, Daniel will help her since she'll be tipsy and stumbling. That'll lead to Daniel holding Tessa on the staircase, where she'll surprise him by planting a passionate kiss. At the Boston Clinic on Tuesday's YNR episode, Mariah will consider contacting Tessa before calling Sharon Newman instead. Sharon will be by comatose Noah Newman's bedside when the call comes in, so she'll step out in the waiting area to answer it. Mariah will admit she's struggling, and will give Sharon updates on Tessa's visit. After Mariah wishes Sharon could hold her and offer comfort, she'll wonder if her mom could come see her. Sharon will stammer a bit since she won't want to leave Noah, but she won't want to give the news of his crash to Mariah and worry her either. Mariah will ultimately decide it's best if she works things out on her own anyway, but Sharon will look distraught as her daughter disconnects. Mariah will cry over the playing card Tessa ripped up and sit there by herself until Ian suddenly appears sitting across from her. Ian, or at least the version Mariah has presumably cooked up in her mind, will ask Mariah if she's feeling lost and alone again. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Ian's return will shake Mariah up as she tries to deal with her past, so stay tuned. Today's next update. The Rinse YNR October 20th. Phyllis crosses a line she can't take back. Phyllis's jealousy ignited a meltdown at Christine's bachelorette party that may have cost her everything, and there's no undoing what she did next. In the October 20th episode of The Young and the Restless, Phyllis's fragile grip on control finally shattered as her jealousy and bitterness over Christine's upcoming wedding boiled over in spectacular fashion. What should have been a joyful celebration turned into a volatile confrontation that may permanently change how Genoa City sees Phyllis. Key takeaways. Phyllis crashed Christine's bachelorette party and turned it into chaos. Christine confronted her rival, pushing Phyllis to an emotional breaking point. A sudden blackout left everyone suspicious that Phyllis was responsible. Danny's compassion gave Phyllis a moment of clarity, when that came too late. Phyllis pushes too far. Phyllis ignored every warning and stormed into Christine's bachelorette celebration, determined to make her presence known. What began as lighthearted teasing between friends quickly unraveled as Phyllis hurled insults about Christine's life, love, and impending marriage. Lauren and the other women tried to rein her in, but Phyllis couldn't stop herself from escalating the situation. Christine finally confronted her, accusing Phyllis of being jealous and unstable. When Christine called her crazy, years of resentment came flooding out. Phyllis lashed back, her voice trembling with rage and humiliation. The scene turned physical before others stepped in to pull them apart. Shaken and furious, Phyllis stormed out, proving she still couldn't walk away from old wounds. The cost of obsession. Upstairs, Phyllis cornered Danny and vented her frustration, blaming Christine for everything she'd lost. For a man who's seen her at her best and worst, Danny's reaction was more sadness than anger. He told her she was passionate, loving, and self-destructive, qualities that made her unforgettable but impossible to control. His compassion only deepened the ache. Phyllis admitted Christine might be right, that she's lost touch with who she was, and that her feelings had twisted into something darker. Still, she couldn't hide her longing for a life that would never return. Her tears made it clear, this wasn't just about Danny and Christine. It was about a woman trapped by her own inability to let go. Darkness falls, literally and emotionally. Downstairs, just as the tension seemed to ease, the lights went out. The room erupted in chaos as everyone shouted Phyllis's name. While it was later explained away as a power issue, the timing was poetic. Phyllis had, in every sense, turned out the lights on Christine's night. When power returned, Danny and Christine stood together in the glow of their love, surrounded by friends. Phyllis lingered unseen in the doorway, her face a mix of envy and sorrow, before she walked away into the shadows she'd created. Today's next update. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Wednesday, October 22nd. Sharon confesses to Nick, Noah's double trouble. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, October 22nd, reveal that Sharon Newman will confess to Nick Newman, while Noah Newman's double trouble causes concern. At the hospital in Los Angeles, Sharon will fret over the awful situation she's facing. Since Noah is in an induced coma and Mariah Copeland is distraught at the clinic in Boston, Sharon is feeling torn between her children right now. Although Sharon wants to be there for Mariah in person, making sure Noah's okay has to be the priority. Even so, Sharon will feel guilty about abandoning Mariah and will confess to Nick about how tough all this is. Nick will know Sharon is in a tight spot and will reassure her about being a good mom. Despite the worries they're both facing, Nick will cling to hope for the future and give Sharon a pep talk. Nevertheless, all the questions swirling about Noah's crash will continue to concern Nick as well as Sharon. Noah's facing double the trouble since he could have brain damage, and the person responsible for running him off the road hasn't been caught. That means Noah could still be at risk and that he's been keeping some big secrets from his parents, so it's easy to see why Sharon and Nick will be on edge. Nick and Sharon will have a lot on their minds as they await updates on any news regarding Noah's condition. As for Mariah, she'll be tormented by Ian Ward's visit, even if it's only happening inside her mind. Mariah's history will come back to haunt her as this version of Ian taunts her and makes her even more miserable. Back in Genoa City, Daniel Romalotti Jr. will react to the smooch Tessa Porter just gave him. Since Daniel is a good guy who wouldn't take advantage of Tessa when she's drunk and emotionally vulnerable, he'll surely put a stop to all this before it goes any further. However, Daniel will also face a difficult choice on Wednesday's Y&R episode. That may involve what Daniel's going to do when Tessa sobers up and how he's going to handle these growing feelings of his. Daniel may feel conflicted since Tessa needs him, but it's getting harder and harder to be around her platonically. Will Daniel decide to put some distance between them, or continue supporting Tessa despite the complications? The Young and the Restless spoilers say Daniel will wrestle with his dilemma, so stay tuned to see what he does next. Today's next update. Phyllis's latest crash out on the Young and the Restless proved she hasn't moved on. Unsurprisingly, Phyllis lost her mind when she walked into Christine and Danny's bachelor/bachelorette party, which proves she hasn't moved on. On The Young and the Restless October 20th, Phyllis has a hard time moving on. Instead of humbly leaving Christine and Danny's bachelor/bachelorette respective parties, she crashes out and lurks around. Her thirst for revenge proves she hasn't made peace with the fact that Danny Ramalotti doesn't love her. Key takeaways. Phyllis and Christine fought over Danny for decades. Phyllis tried to seduce him to get him back, but it didn't work this time around. Danny proved that he's in love with Christine. The two are getting married, and threw a joint bachelor/bachelorette party. Phyllis walked in on the happy celebration and nearly lost her mind. Phyllis's crash-out moment. Devin walked into the GCAC dining room to announce there was a bachelor party. He lost Abby, who already headed downstairs for the bachelorette festivities. Phyllis unknowingly walked into the hotel. She didn't realize there was a bachelor party tonight. But instead of heading up to her suite, Phyllis sulked around and crashed out at the private party downstairs. She headed to the lounge to speak with the lucky woman Christine. Of course, she had to have the final say in the matter. She overheard Christine telling a story about the first time that Danny swept her off her feet. Phyllis wanted to have a drink and crash the biggest party of the year. However, she wasn't invited. Thankfully, Lauren pulled Phyllis aside to talk some sense into her. But that didn't last for long. When will Phyllis move on? It's time for her to move on. Danny already proved that he doesn't love her. He's living a happy and drama-free life with Christine, and they proved they could make their love story work. But Phyllis thinks she still has a chance. She wouldn't mind being the other woman in this love triangle. She's done it with Nick and Sharon. Unfortunately, she'll never let it go. And she's spiraling because of numerous things that happened to her this year, but especially because she still hasn't gotten her happy ending. Phyllis proved that when she told Danny that the most undeserving woman in the world is marrying the father of her son. Just because Phyllis and Danny share a child doesn't mean they're meant to be together. She has to accept that their love affair didn't work and move on. Today's next update. The Young and the Restless Tuesday, October 21st update. Phyllis's risky behavior, Tessa's wild night. The Young and the Restless spoilers update for Tuesday, October 21st, reveals that Phyllis Summers will engage in some risky behavior, while Tessa Porter has a booze-fueled wild night. Y&R fans know that Mariah Copeland seems more depressed and distant than ever. Tessa's visit to Mariah's facility in Boston didn't go well at all, so she'll want to drink away the problems on Tuesday's show. Once Tessa tries to use alcohol to numb her pain, Daniel Ramalotti Jr. will see that she could use some help. Tessa will barely be able to stand, so Daniel will think she'd better sleep this off in a suite upstairs at the athletic club. On the way up, Tessa will find another way to distract herself from all her Mariah heartbreak. Daniel's in for a big surprise when Tessa leans in and kisses him passionately. Although Daniel has fallen hard for Tessa, he obviously won't think it's a good idea for passion to erupt like this. Tessa will be drunk and emotionally distraught over Mariah, so Daniel will no doubt push her away for the time being. Over with Kane Ashby, he'll approach Devin Winters and hope they can put any animosity behind them. Kane may hope that by making peace with Devin, it'll serve as the first step toward making peace with Lily and the twins too. However, Kane's goal won't pan out since there's no chance Devin will just forgive and forget. Devin's response may leave Kane more discouraged than ever when it comes to repairing his reputation and fixing his family. As for Phyllis, she'll behave in a way that's awfully risky. We'll see Phyllis do something big and bold, so we'll see if that involves a strategy to impress Kane or perhaps mixing business with pleasure. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Phyllis is set to get an unexpected love interest soon, so it's possible she'll lock lips with Kane and make their arrangement more complicated. Whatever the case, Phyllis will prove she's a gambling woman when she makes her next move, so stay tuned for updates on the shocking news to come. Today's next update. Young and the Restless spoilers October 21st. Phyllis, Kane, and Tessa take major risks. How will Daniel and Devin react? The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, October 21st, reveal Phyllis taking her chances, Kane reaching out, and Tessa acting out. Key takeaways. Phyllis almost outsmarts herself. Kane apologizes to Devon. Tessa has a surprise for Daniel. Next on Weiner. Phyllis has long believed herself to be the smartest woman in Genoa City. Win or lose, she did the right thing. It's just the universe was against her. The minute Phyllis learned that Aristotle Dumas existed, she convinced herself he couldn't continue Moglangi without her. When she discovered he was really Kane Ashby, she was even more delighted. Any man in love with Lily would jump at the opportunity to upgrade to someone as brilliant as Phyllis. She keeps telling him this, but it doesn't appear to be sinking in. So Phyllis resolves to show him. She needs to make a big gesture, one that will demonstrate just how smart she is, and how much Kane needs her. Kane's apology tour. Kane knows he needs something. He's pretty sure it's not Phyllis. What Kane thinks he needs, other than Lily and their kids to love him again, is for Devon to forgive him. For what? Oh, so many things. Is it for trapping Abby in France? Is it for getting Dominic's other dad, Chance, killed? Also, Damien. Is it for hurting Lily? Is it for trying to take over all the family companies in town? So many options. How will he even have time for them all? Tessa's kiss or tell. Tessa keeps pushing Mariah to tell her why she's withdrawn from her wife and daughter. Mariah keeps giving her cryptic answers. She has reached the end of her rope. Tessa turns to Daniel, who's been by her side since the beginning. Daniel is being a supportive friend. Tessa is grateful, also a bit drunk. So she kisses him. Guess who'll be hedging the next time Tessa and Mariah come face to face? The Young and the Restless week of October 20th update. Claire gives Sharon a surprise. Sally's bold move. The Young and the Restless spoilers update for the week of October 20th to 24th reveals that Claire Newman will make a hospital visit and give Sharon Newman some surprise comfort. Sally Spectra will also make a bold move, so there'll be a lot happening on the CBS soap. For starters, Christine Blair's bachelorette party will take a wrong turn thanks to Phyllis Summers barging in uninvited. The power will ultimately go out at the athletic club, which will affect Danny Romolotti's bachelor gathering as well. However, Phyllis won't be responsible for that power outage since it'll turn out to be related to some construction problems. Phyllis will try to accept what she can't change when it comes to Danny's future with Christine. This marriage is going down whether Phyllis likes it or not, so she'll tell Danny that she wants him to be happy. Next, Daniel Romolotti Jr. will face Tessa Porter's drunk kiss and will have to make some hard choices in the aftermath. Mariah Copeland's past will also take center stage, so she may imagine Ian Ward and Will Hensley are there haunting her at her facility in Boston. Back with Phyllis, she has some shocking romantic developments coming up, and they'll most likely involve crossing a passionate line with Kane Ashby. Kane and Phyllis will reach an agreement after things head in a surprising direction, so they may agree to be friends with benefits. On the other hand, Phyllis and Kane might agree it can never happen again, though that's an agreement that could easily be broken. In Los Angeles, Nick Newman will track down Sienna Bacall and introduce himself as he searches for more Noah Newman intel. Meanwhile, Claire will visit the hospital and give Sharon some comfort as she worries about Noah's medical condition. Kyle Abbott will also try to expose Holden Novak as a dirty, rotten scoundrel, so he'll take notice of Holden's shady meeting with Sienna and call Claire's attention to it too. Later, Y&R spoilers say Kyle will interrogate Sienna and try to get to the bottom of her Holden connection. Finally, Sally will make a bold move for Audra Charles' sake, so she may fight for her friend's role at Abbott Communications, even if Jill Abbott and Billy Abbott aren't supportive. For more of the latest updates and behind-the-scenes secrets from Young and the Restless, make sure to hit subscribe and ring that bell. Stay in the know with every new release.